September 8th at Shawsheen Valley. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law and the governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may be gathered in one place, this meeting of the Shawsheen Valley Regional Vocational Technical School District Committee will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen or watch the meeting may do so by accessing the meeting link above. And no in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted. But every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technology means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the Shawsheen website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Okay, tonight, Paul Geddick is here, Ron Fusco, Glenn McIntyre, and Kent Moffett, and myself, Tisha Muse, and Nancy Asbedian is on Zoom. All right, our first order of business is executive session, so I need a motion to go into executive session to ratify, actually to discuss the memorandum of agreement with the STA regarding COVID-19 reopening.
Make a motion, we go to executive session. Second.
All those in favor?
Roll call.
Roll call. That.
Yes.
Paul? Ron?
Yes.
And Sharon Gillis just joined us?
Yes.
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
And I say yes, so we're in executive session as of now.
Okay, Scott has to, we have a Scott.
Yep.
So,
Thank you, Scott.
Okay, the school committee is back in regular session. We have COVID-19 update by the superintendent.
Thank you. So I've been trying my best to keep the school committee up to date on what's going on through and not recreating the wheel and leveraging Ms. Cook's outstanding principal updates along with some other direct information I've sent you. So hopefully the school committee has felt they are.
I'm here.
Hopefully the school committee has felt they've been up to date on this issue. I did want to make sure that the committee was aware that we did send out information about sports on Friday. So we will be having boys soccer, girls soccer, golf, and cross country. We're going to be limiting the number of people who can be observers of those games. We're going to try to schedule many of them on weekends, at least one a weekend, so that, and we're not guaranteeing transportation to those, either to the games or to the practices, because the issue of transportation is, our priority is to make sure that we have an adequate transportation resources are focused on getting our students who are in session to and from their homes. We will be reopening on Monday to half our students and about at least how many students per grade are going to be academic in-house?
It's going to be roughly 80 kids per week, so on average about 40 per grade.
About 80, so about 80 students are going to be here for academics. We actually offered it, to about, so that's 40 per grade. We offered it to about 50 per grade, and about 10 per grade said no thank you. So those parents have either opted out or they were supposed to tell us by last Friday, by before Labor Day, and there's about 40 that we actually haven't heard from. So we're going to be, by noon tomorrow, we're going to be cutting that off and assuming that not hearing from anybody is a no. So we are on track to reopen. The teachers have been actively working in their classrooms with their partner teachers to alter their curriculum so that it will work in the remote setting on the academic side, and the shop teachers have been doing incredible amount of work reconfiguring their shops physically to maintain physical distancing. There's been a lot of Lexan installed in the past week, and we still have a little more to do in some of the other shops before the end of the week, and that's on schedule to be completed. So we are excited to be able to welcome the students back on Monday, and available to answer any questions that you have about the COVID-19 preparations or plans.
Do you have any questions?
Lunches,
So the question was about lunches. We will be, the students who are in physically here at Shawsheen will be served lunch, or will have a lunch break. It will take place either in the cafeteria or in the gym because of physical distancing. We are setting up the gym as an ancillary space for students to sit, so that because students must be a minimum of 6 feet apart when they are eating because they're removing their masks. We have equipped the cafeteria where students will be purchasing their lunches with more Lexan than you've ever, it looks like a TJ Maxx in there. And we're encouraging people to put their payments on their badge so that they can just scan their badge and there's no money transaction, would be the most efficient and would be the safest. We will be serving lunch to students. Melanie?
We are offering lunches to the students that aren't here. So just like we did at the end of the year, so anyone that's not physically in the building that needs food, their school nutrition director has reached out to all the families saying that they can pull up in the back parking lot. We would put it in their cars for them, just like we did before. So we are offering it to everybody.
Is that an opt-in, opt-out type of thing, or is it day by day?
They can change it. He's just asking them to email him so he can kind of prepare for a count and they can have it bagged and ready. Sometimes he's done it for a week, so he'll give them a whole week's worth of lunch and breakfast, so they have it to go. So it worked out well last year for him and the family, so we're hoping to do the same thing.
How'd you get to that?
So he sets a table out in the back parking lot, and we'll send one or two of the cafeteria ladies out there. They pull up, we just kind of check their name off and put it in. So this way there's no touching anyone, and then that's it. Yep.
Norica Public is doing the same thing, so is the local food pantry. Grab and go,
Just grab and
basically.
go.
Yeah,
So like Dunkin' Donuts, they go and pull you.
No, it's the same food for everyone. They just, unless we did have one or two students that have a special diet, but Mr. Roach works directly with those parents, but mostly it's the same food and he just put it in.
Anybody else?
The HVAC thing, the test you guys said though, is that like the companies are coming in, is it a DESI guideline? They have to follow like some type of report, or is there a standard?
So we chose, DESI did recommend that school districts have their HVAC system checked out by an independent contractor, and we did that. And the report is actually going to be published. We should have the report ready for publication tomorrow. And it will be on our website, and it will also be shared with the teachers and the staff. The preliminary report I've seen does indicate that our HVAC system is in good operating condition. It does reiterate a lot of the recommendations that DESI has offered, like making sure all of your ventilation units, all your exhausts are turned on 2 hours before occupancy and remain on 2 hours after occupancy. So all of our HVAC equipment has been reprogrammed to meet those standards. So we should be good to go in terms of HVAC. We've implemented most of the recommendations that were in the report that we expect to be in the report. So we should be good to go. There is also, Also in DESI standards, they do recommend that teachers work with the windows open. And all our buses are supposed to have their windows open. And only in extreme weather conditions, according to DESI, is that standard not supposed to be followed. So bundle up, everybody. It's going to be a cold winter in Shawsheen. And we are going to be, I can tell you right now, I have every expectation that we are probably going to overspend our heating budget because we have to bring in a lot more fresh air as opposed to when you're recirculating 70-degree or 68-degree air and just have to heat it up to 70 degrees. It takes so much energy in the unit ventilator, but when you're bringing in 20% outside air that's 10 degrees, and you have to heat that up to make it the output 70 degrees, there's a lot more energy that's used to do that. So we will be seeing some energy bills that are going to, well, you can blame the working superintendent on them, but they're going to be quite high.
Anyone else?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
quick-
sorry.
Are many of the shops that were originally not going to be big enough, how many of them have ended up spreading out into classrooms?
Every one of them, pretty much, right?
Yeah, so in the majority of those shops, they had like related rooms that they use, so they're gonna use their related rooms, space the shop space. And we're down to, only one or two that actually take an academic classroom in addition. And some of them, one is in construction, for example, and so on nice days, they can decide and locate.
Thank you.
Any rules on masks, what kind of masks they come in there or students?
The rules are they have to cover their face and their nose and their mouth and meet Department of Public Health guidelines, masks. So at this point in time, the follow-on question I usually get is, what does that mean about, what do you call this thing?
Gators.
Gators.
Yeah.
The Massachusetts Department of Public Health has not said anything that gators are not allowed.
What if they put something on that's not
Well,
Yeah, maybe it's
proper?
sayings.
anything that they put on their body that violates our dress code will be a violation of our dress code and will be treated as if it's a T-shirt or anything else. So anything that's disruptive, but is determined by the principal, will be dealt with, and they'll be given a mask to wear for the rest of the day. And suggested that they leave their opinions at home.
Just curious. That's you.
Anyone else?
So the bathrooms where, if they're in the shops, they have a bathroom there. We try to limit the amount of traffic that's gonna be in the hallways here.
Yes.
There will be
so-
some students who said academics.
So our shops, because our shops, as you know, are located kind of on the periphery of this school and are spread out, we will be maintaining the shops as a cohort throughout the school day, except when they go to lunch. But we are going to be managing, so we'll have, I assume we're gonna have the same shop going to the same lunch, the same, like, A lunch or B lunch
Yes.
or whatever.
Yes.
So there'll still be a sub, there'll be a couple of shops that are together for lunch. But those students will be substantially separate from the academic kids who are going to be on an academic schedule but there's going to be about 80 of them. So the restrooms in the academic area are going to be used for those kids. The restrooms in the shops themselves will be used, where there are some, will be used exclusively by the shop students. And the shop students will only leave their shop for lunch. They're supposed to mask, they always have to mask. They have to hand sanitize when they leave. They have to hand sanitize when they return or wash their hands. And they have to maintain the 6-foot physical distancing throughout the school at all times. Please,
Excuse me, I'm going to depart.
All right.
we hope you feel better,
Thanks. Yeah,
Nancy.
Nancy.
Sorry. Sorry, guys. Thank you.
So where are we getting to here? I don't want to be here till 9 either.
It's a general update.
That's
Okay.
fine.
I'm here
Those
to
80
sign-
students, last
What do we
question.
have to, what do we need to approve still?
Motion.
It was, just a quick question, Brad. Those 80 students, quick question, 80 students, are they all on the ed plans? Am I correct with them?
That is, I would say a majority of
Okay,
them are.
just wondering. Thank you. Okay, I'm good.
I do have one question, not on this, but I was thinking about the students that you had the other night, last week, you had a Zoom meeting. or
Yes.
something. How many students?
We had almost 200 at one point in
Oh,
time.
awesome.
Very nice, very
It's
good.
great. Oh my gosh, it's the most fun I've had since I got here. That was so much fun. Those kids were great.
That's
Great
good.
question.
That's good, that's good.
What about like the update on like some parent, like you're gonna run into a case where you may be short paraprofessionals or like how's your, just an update on like what, like paraprofessionals or substitutes, like.
So we have our paraprofessional, we have one vacancy actually in our paraprofessional rank right now, which was a late resignation, which happens traditionally, at least it's been my experience, in paraprofessionals who get jobs as teachers, some of them. So we have one who got a job as a teacher and that position is vacant right now. We do have about 4 very constant subs that we connected with, and we will be on a call basis.
What's your typical year, over a year, like? from last
We actually
year?
expect, unless there's a medical issue that hits us, because of the reduced amount of, if you are absent because of a sick kid, but you can work from home, or you have a personal day, but you still work from home, we actually think we may have fewer absences this year, we're hoping. We have not had any resignations due to this situation, which to me is a testimony to the dedication of this staff. I bet you there isn't, I know there's not a district or a catchment area, you can say that, other than us, that we have not had a resignation due to COVID-related concerns or a request for even an unpaid leave for the year. So the flexibility we'll be providing teachers is really going to help our absentee.
All right, let's go to the updated student handbook. Thank you very much.
One last question,
Oh.
and you don't have to answer now, it can even be just something that gets put out, but I've heard people are wondering what is the teaching style, what the teaching plan is for the full remote, the families that choose to be 100% remote, who is teaching them, is their day a full 8 to 2 day, just like the academic start, and that's,
We'll
like
get
I
that
said,
information out to the parents
Yeah.
who've chosen full. There's just a handful, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like literally a handful. So we're very excited. So
Thank you.
next in the packet is the update to the student handbook. So Ms. Cook is here to present to you changes to the student handbook that have been in your packet. And it's extensive. There are 2 sets of changes. There are 2 purposes of the changes. One is related to COVID-19, and the other is due to changes in Title IX legislation. But rather than repeat them, I'm a quick learner, Glenn. Rather than repeat them or work from them, Ms. Cook is here to answer your questions about the recommended changes to the student handbook.
Anybody have any questions? Go through it.
I went through it.
Okay. Not here.
It's boring, but that's what your job is.
I went through it.
It's boring stuff. It's impressive that you get it all.
is there anything that you guys are concerned about that you think is gonna be difficult to enforce, or was difficult to figure out how to write, or anything like that?
I think the biggest thing with all of this, just the logistics of movement of students and having never lived or experienced this. The staff's probably sick of hearing us say this, but we are probably gonna get a week in and notice one or two things we're gonna have to adjust. So, we come in up with morning entry procedures, exit procedures that we, think are gonna be great, and we try to pull polls in, but until we actually live it and see it, we won't know for sure.
You're saying basically that as you get in, it's like a living document. This thing can come back for another vote.
Well, the thing I did about morning entrance and exit procedures was in here, I just stated that we would be adapting them so that you all wouldn't have to come back again on things like that. And then I just think supporting kids and teachers to acclimate to this new environment, because everyone's a little anxious.
I didn't see anything in here that I would expect to see at, let's say, Northeastern, for example, where they just, you were one of those schools where they just threw out 11 kids for congregating. So I don't know, well, we don't really have the same ability to do that, obviously, but just wondering if that was something that got addressed.
You do mention something about when they leave, not gathering together and stuff, right? That's in here. There is something in here about the kids not gathering outside.
Yeah, it does
not-
say that they can't congregate.
Right.
And all of these things, because they're in the student handbook, violation of them is a disciplinary, there's
Right.
disciplinary action, which includes up to suspension or ultimately.
Right, but I mean, if one of these kids hosts a party and 50 of them show up, and how are you gonna deal with that?
At their home, you're talking about?
Well, it doesn't matter where. It could be at the, I don't know, the Teenage Elks Club. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
that-
we
that- don't have.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have any jurisdiction.
No.
Trust me, people are complaining to health departments if they think there's anything.
I know. I'm
Claim the health departments.
Yeah, we can do the.
My wife's a Board of Health.
I'll deal with them when they're in the building.
Right.
Kevin, you live Board of Health eventually, in Bedford, in Burlington? I thought you said that.
My
I
wife-
get those people, they
my
don't
wife
get
is,
enough.
my wife is-
I only want one position with
I thought you said that.
that email.
So if there are no other questions,
All right.
it would be our recommendation that the school committee vote to amend the student handbook as presented.
I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to amend the student handbook as suggested.
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Unanimous. All right, then I have one thing. I have something about, all right, the Title IX information, which is also going to be a policy. I guess we have to change our policy. So before our next meeting, whoever is going to be on the policy committee, and I will contact you, we will meet probably 15 minutes before the next meeting and discuss that.
We will have a recommendation from the attorney for the changes, recommended amendments to your policies
Okay.
regarding Title IX to adjust for this.
Yes. All right. Okay, and the last thing is about subcommittees. Most of you did get back to me. I don't think I heard just one person I didn't hear from. And does anybody want any discussion about it? Why I did the changes that I did?
Are you announcing the new committees tonight?
No, because I'm still missing one person.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, I think what you did, in my conversation with you was necessary. Cleaning up a lot of old business. Committees, like you said, hadn't met in years. Committees that didn't need to meet anymore, so. So, yeah, well, we'll know by the 22nd. Thank you.
And I was really thinking when I did this, I truly believe that a lot of the committees were made so most of the discussion was beforehand, so it wouldn't take so long in the meetings. But since most of those committees haven't even met, that's why I got rid of them. I'm in the personnel committee. I did delete that because we had, some of us have had things that we felt we weren't being told, you know, and it felt like everything was behind closed doors or whatever, but, and when it came to us, we really didn't hear any in the background, and I thought, well, you know what, we can do this at a regular committee meeting in executive session. All right. Paul, did you want to discuss anything? No?
Is that clear?
In general,
Using time.
in general, have you found with the responses you've gotten that you're gonna, be able to fill all the committees and not have to beg people to change what they wanna do?
I actually think you want me to give me another one. Most of you gave me one or two, but I had 2 committee members who said they do not want to serve on any committee, so. And I haven't had anyone who said they wanted to be that full committee member for the CPAC. So I need someone to step up for that. And I just need to talk to Brad about the wellness committee, because I thought, according to state law now, every school had to have a wellness committee. And I don't know if we
Is a
have.
wellness
We
committee.
do. All right, so a school committee member should be on that.
What is it?
So it's myself, Bob Roach, the school nutrition director, Patty Newman, Jay Tilsley, and we've met and talked about the student activity in the building, and Terry Wonke was on it at one point. We've done surveys for school lunch, what the quality is, if they have issues with it, and just talk about the wellness and everything. So we'd love for somebody to join us. We actually have had the minutes posted on our school cafeteria website.
If,
They're quick and good.
if
Oh,
that
well, that's-
last person who you haven't heard from is not interested, you still don't have anybody else.
On wellness, okay. And it actually goes a little further than just food.
Yeah, of course.
Well, like I said, wellness, that's why Jay Tilsley,
Right.
He's the aquatics director,
Right, yeah.
fitness, and you know.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah,
I knew
so
everybody on
he's
the committee.
involved and he,
Okay. All right, well, thank you. I think we need a motion.
Adjourn.
A second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
my battery died anyway.
See you on the 22nd.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Brad.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank
you, Jess.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, you're on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you,
Into some
Melanie.
combat.
Good night, Howard.
Good night.
Take care, everybody.